Today, we're diving into Sun Tzu's The Art of War, the Scroll of Stratagems for Attack. The title itself comes from two powerful ideograms, meaning plots or strategy and attack. But don't let the word attack fool you. For Sun Tzu, the ultimate goal isn't a bloody battlefield, it's a psychological victory. Sun Tzu begins with a radical idea. The best way to win is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter it is a failure of leadership. He says, supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Think back at the initial Russian invasion in February 2022. The Kremlin's thunder run towards Kyiv was a failed attempt at this very principle. They hoped for a rapid collapse of the Ukrainian government, to take the country whole, without a prolonged war. However, because they failed to balk the enemy's plans or break resistance psychologically, it devolved into what Sun Tzu warns against most, a war of destruction. When you destroy the infrastructure and the people you intend to rule, you aren't winning a prize, you are inheriting a graveyard. Sun Tzu lays out a specific priority of success. 1. The highest form. Balk the enemy's plans. That's strategy. 2. Next best. Prevent the junction of forces. That's diplomacy and isolation. 3. And third, attack the army in the field. That's combat. 4. The worst, besieging walled cities. The invasion of Ukraine has become a textbook example of why besieging cities is the worst policy. Look at the month-long sieges of Mariupol or Bakhmut. Sun Tzu warns that a general, unable to control his irritation, will throw men at walls like swarming ants, losing a third of his force while the town remains untaken. These lengthy operations in the field exhaust the treasury and the soul of the army. In contrast, a skillful leader seeks to overthrow the kingdom through stratagem, keeping their own forces intact while the enemy's will to fight evaporates. The second section of the scroll deals with a cold math of war. Sun Tzu is pragmatic. If you outnumber them 10 to 1, surround them. If 5 to 1, attack them. If double, divide them. If equally matched, you may offer battle. If outnumbered, be capable of withdrawing. Early in the war, Ukraine, often outnumbered in heavy artillery, used the divide and withdraw tactics. Rather than meeting the Russian armor head-on in a losing numbers game, they used mobility and intelligence to pick apart supply lines. They followed the scroll. If you are slightly inferior in numbers, can you avoid the enemy? If not, you must be able to outmaneuver them. Finally, Sun Tzu looks at the 5 essentials for victory. To win, a leader must know 1. When to fight and when not to. 2. How to handle both superior and inferior forces. 3. How to unite the army under one common spirit. 4. How to be prepared while catching the enemy unprepared. And 5. How to lead without being interfered with by the politicians. This last point is crucial. Sun Tzu warns of the 3 ways of misfortune largely caused by political leaders trying to micromanage military operations from a distance. In the modern context, we see the struggle in every war, the tension between the civil goals of the state and the military reality on the ground. The Scroll of Stratagems teaches us that war is a game of wits before it is a game of weapons. To conquer without fighting is the peak of human intelligence. As we look at the modern conflicts, Sun Tzu's 2,500-year-old advice remains a hauntingly accurate mirror. Victory is a masterpiece. Destruction is just a mess. As we close the scroll on Sun Tzu's 3rd chapter, we are left with a definition of victory that feels almost paradoxical. In a world that often equates attack with annihilation, Sun Tzu asks us to consider a more disciplined, more elegant path. We've seen through the lens of the conflict in Ukraine that the most expensive way to fight is through the swarming ant tactics of the siege, where irritation replaces strategy and the cities are reduced to rubble. Sun Tzu's warning is clear. When you destroy the very thing you are fighting for, you have already lost. To summarize the 5 essentials we've covered, true mastery lies in knowing when to engage, maintaining a unified spirit from the private to the general, and ensuring that strategic wisdom is never strangled by political interference. Whether it is a superpower navigating modern geopolitics, or an individual navigating personal conflict, the ultimate stratagem remains the same: balk the enemy's plans. Win the battle in the mind before a single shot is fired, because the supreme excellence is not found in the thunder of the assault, but in the silence of a resistance that has been broken without a blow. With your forces intact and your vision clear, you don't just survive the conflict, you master the empire.